The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of the staff or management of Visionary-related entertainment.
Aloha and welcome to Maui Nonprofit Notes. Each week on this show, you'll find us talking story with Maui's nonprofit executive directors and staff to find out how they're working to support those with needs within our community. Maui Nonprofit Notes is generously sponsored by Pacific Source. If you're building or remodeling a home, please stop by Pacific Source's Cabinet and Appliance Showroom located in the Waikapu Bayshard. I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific, and your host for Maui Nonprofit Notes. During the hour, we share some of During this hour, we will be sharing some of the experiences of our nonprofit agencies and just how they are changing lives, changing communities, and creating miracles of hope for those with needs. Today we're going to start off the show with some folks from Kalima o Maui. We've got Chantel Ratte, who is the executive director. We've got Debbie Wonderscheid, who is the... Help me out. I've got it written somewhere here.
Marketing director.
And job developer.
Job developer.
There we go. See, I knew I wrote that down, but it's not on the front. I switched pages, didn't I? We were talking about something else, and I shuffled my papers. Oh, man, this show's off to a good start. And we also have one of their participants. Hi, Faye.
Hi.
How are you today?
Hi.
Good. We're going to talk to you in just a little bit, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Super. So, Kalima o Maui's been around for how long?
My gosh, since 1955, so we're in our 61st year right now.
Wow.
Yeah, we're one of Maui's oldest private nonprofit.
Growing every year, I bet.
Well, actually, we are, yeah. In the last 10, 11 years, we've seen continuous growth. Yep.
And what, let's just put it out there for in case we have somebody out there that's listening that has not heard from you before here on the radio, what Kalima is all about.
Okay, so our mission is enhancing lives through self-reliance for persons with disabilities. We do that mainly through employment-related programs. So we get referrals from the Department of Vocational Rehabilitation for individuals looking for employment. And we'll do anything from skills assessment, strength assessment, job search, job placement, long-term job coaching. And we do that. There's two venues for those individuals referred to us. They can go work in one of our crews in the landscaping and custodial, or we can find them employment anywhere in the community with several businesses. We hire over 60 persons with disabilities currently on our payroll, and those are all part of our janitorial and landscaping crews that go out on a daily basis. We have about 12 crews that go out.
Wow.
And service several county facilities on the south side and central, and as well as private businesses. We also have some federal contracts. We're at TSA every morning, cleaning the security checkpoints. Probably too early for many people to see us. I think we're there at 4:30 in the morning. And then the other component to Kalima is what Faye is going to talk about, is our Medicaid waiver program. That's an adult day health program for persons with intellectual disabilities. So that's kind of a quick summary of Kalima, what we do.
And through the process of between the work that you do with your crews, you also have placement of people in other businesses.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's an ongoing, I guess we're going to talk a little bit more about that with Debbie, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. Yep. So I'll stop there, and we'll let you've got an interesting and exciting thing that just happened for you guys.
I know.
I take that back. That's misleading. It didn't just happen. It's been years in the planning.
Thank you for clarifying that.
It's been years in the planning and the fundraising and the
yes. We are very, very happy to have just completed phase 1 of a major capital project at Kalima. In fact, it's our first capital project in our history. So we've never, we've been a tenant at the Cameron Center for many, many years. So phase 1 included the renovation of a building that we have on a 2-acre lot that we leased from the county of Maui. Now, this building was initially constructed to accommodate the plant nursery back in 1993, The plant nursery, as most people know, had to sadly close in 2000. And after that, we kind of made some quick renovations to accommodate the adult day help program in there. Move forward to 2016, the roof is leaking, the siding is all rusted, and the building is not, it's not really safe anymore. So we embarked on this major renovation, and we had to move out for almost a year while the construction happened. But we just moved back in before January, and I think I would like to let Faye jump in here if she would like to, and explain the changes to the building, because Faye occupied the building. She's part of our program. She has been for many years, and she knows firsthand how the building was before and after. So, what are the differences, Faye?
New kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay.
New computers room. New washing machine, a new dishwasher.
Gotcha. Important priorities there. Yeah?
Yeah.
So now what, instead of, was it a dirt floor before even? Or did you have a flooring in there?
It was a very rough concrete floor. What does the floor look like to you now, Faye?
Wood.
Yeah, it's that nice wood-looking floor.
Good.
Were you hot before? What's another big difference?
Well, one side is hot, the other side is cold, so I stayed the cold side. They can stay the hot side, so.
But yeah, we now have air conditioning throughout the building, which is something that they never had. So that's a big plus. We also added a new activity room that is now the computer room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Interesting. So you spend your days in that building?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And what are you learning? What do you learn there? And do you are you on the computer, or are you in the kitchen?
I'm on the
making things?
computer sometime.
Okay.
I do Facebook, and I have email,
Okay.
and I have Yahoo.
Okay. And then do you take classes?
No.
No classes. Okay.
How about the kitchen? How does that work? Who uses the kitchen?
Kitchen with clients and staff.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys do in there?
Where we rinse the dishes and we put them in the dishwasher
Mm-hmm.
to make them go.
Do you serve meals
Yeah.
to staff and to other clients, participants like yourself?
Yes.
Do you make the food?
No. Everybody pitch in.
Oh, good. Okay.
So I believe once or twice a week they decide collectively on a menu, and then they start from just going to buy all the ingredients to make that recipe, and there's a certain rotation, right? You guys take turns on who makes the meal every week. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Interesting.
And tomorrow we have cooking class, and Miss Stacy is a chef, so I hope it's a good one.
Oh, what is she gonna make?
I don't know. She's looking at my recipe book, and I don't know.
So they come in and they make the things you all like to eat.
Yeah.
Cool. That's good.
Usually, cooking class is either group 1 or group 2.
And
The
then
group 2 gotta clean the kitchen, and
group 1 helps make the food.
yeah.
So now, do they actually help and pitch in and help make whatever she's going to cook?
Whatever she's cooked, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So you learn a lot about how to cook.
Yeah.
I probably should take that class.
Same here.
Ooh, that's not one of my strong suits. Yeah. So how many folks do you have in this program?
We have about 25 individuals currently enrolled in the program, and not all 25 come to that site. Some of them is community, out in the community, or home base, but majority definitely come and visit the site.
Okay,
a
now
few times a week.
earlier you called it a Medicaid waiver program.
Well, that's kind of it's kind of a weird name, but it is. It's called the Medicaid Waiver Program. It's funded by federal and state dollars, and that's kind of the name for it. So, I know. I wish that's why I kind of go back to Adult Day Health Program.
Oh, okay. And so this is like when a client reaches a certain age.
You need to be eligible. So it's operated by the Department of Health, and they have case managers. So a person needs to meet certain criteria to be eligible. So you go to the Department of Health, and they'll determine eligibility, and then they'll give you a list of menu of providers on the island, and you get to select your provider.
Oh, I see. So there's some other people who do the
Yeah,
same, similar
absolutely. I
kinds of
believe
things.
there's probably 7 or 8 providers on Maui.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's why the number is fairly small.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Because I was thinking,
spread the love.
yeah, there's now these are people with developmental disabilities,
Yep.
and so we're talking some beginning age level.
Yeah, some we actually serve mostly adults. I think we have one child in the program, and the service is home based after school. But yeah, the Medicaid waiver program starts really young.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what it does is that program pays for the services you provide
Yes.
to these folks.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do they get an income of some sort as well, or?
I'm not sure. For us, it's by service reimbursement, and
Okay.
so if we serve Faye 4 hours a day, we get reimbursed for 4 hours a day
Okay.
at a pre-established rate.
Okay, but you don't have any idea what the agreement is between Medicaid folks and Faye.
All I know is we get if Faye chooses to get services from Kalima, we get a budget on how many hours we can help Faye.
I see.
But yeah, so Faye gets to receive service from us. Other than that,
Okay. So about how many hours a day are you there, Faye?
Well, I'm from 8 to 2, and then afternoon I'm 2 to 5.
Oh, okay. That's doing the other thing.
Yeah, with Caradeck.
I think 2 to 5 you tend to go out in the community more, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see. What's your transportation to Kalima?
Oh, MEO bus.
There you go. Okay. Lot of
Love MEO bus.
yeah, I would think so, and
Yeah.
they probably provide the transportation for a lot of your people working
Absolutely.
outside
Yeah,
in the
and
community.
we could not do what we do without MEO. Yeah.
That's one of the great partnerships that we all talk
Yep.
about here at
Yep.
the nonprofit.
And same with food bank. We pick up food every 2 weeks for a lot of our clients. So great partnership with Maui Food Bank as well.
Right. Now, do they supply the food for the cooking class and stuff?
No, they don't. But that's
That's a
interesting.
thought.
That's interesting. Note to self.
Sometimes things are so obvious we don't even think about them.
Right.
And that I remember at one point that MEO used to do a lot of cooking for their different programs there when they got their new building.
Mm-hmm.
And they were going out buying stuff right and left, and it was starting to get fairly expensive.
Sure.
And so Agnes Groff, who was always the chief cook for everything, went and talked to the folks at the food bank and said, "Hey, why don't our clients qualify?" And they said, "Well, of course your clients qualify. So if it's an event that includes the clients, come get your food from whichever pantry they were going to buy from." But
That's a great idea. Yeah.
that's that's the whole story. Why would you pay full price to feed the clients when
Right.
they're eligible?
Exactly.
So no charge for that tip.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, the radio show helps everybody. It helps helps our
right.
agencies as well as those of you out in the public that are listening to
Yeah.
us. So if there's anybody out there who knows of someone who is on Medicaid in this developmentally disability category, they should call who?
They can call Kalima and we can direct them from there.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah. 244-5502.
Great. Okay. And is there room in the program?
Absolutely. Yeah, there's
Okay.
room. And, one of the great advantage of Kalima's program is that we have such well-established employment programs that if that's one of their goals, it's a very easy transition. And we even have consumers that do both. So
Oh, very good. Okay. Thanks, Chantel.
Yeah, and one last thing on that, we have a great blessing happening this Wednesday, February 8th at 10 a.m. to one of our own staff is going to do the blessing for the new renovated facility.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
So a week from
Clayton.
today at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
10 o'clock there.
Wonderful. Okay, we've got to take a short break, and we'll be right back with the folks from Kalima, Maui.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
And we are back. We're talking story with Kalima Maui, the organization that enhances lives through self-reliance, working with people who have developmental disabilities. During the first part, we talked about the Medicare waiver program and the building that they just finished renovating. And you know, I'm constantly in awe of their funding stream, because it's not the typical nonprofit setup, because they have their crews that go out and do ground work on grounds and custodial services. They do some of our apartment buildings. And according to their information, it provides 63% of their income. And in the state service contract, which is the vocational rehab and Medicaid waiver, is another 31%. So they're down to like 6% of private funding and fundraising. Trust, foundation, special events, and guess what? One of those is what we're going to talk about now. So, Debbie, you want to clue us in?
I'd be happy to. Thanks, Susie. We're getting ready for our 11th annual golf tournament. It's going to be at the Dunes at Maui Lani, Saturday, February 25th. It starts at 7 a.m., two-person scramble and a shotgun start. And that includes continental breakfast and lunch and awards, and been told that we have some of the best prizes in any golf tournament on the island. I think nobody goes away without a prize, and that includes restaurants, hotel accommodations, and there's even an opportunity to win a brand new car and $10,000.
Whoa, now that sounds like a hole-in-one kind of thing.
I think it is. But the chance is always there. You never know.
That's true. That's true.
So we are looking for people to register. Right now it's $150 a person, and that does, like I said before, include the breakfast, the lunch, awards, ceremonies, and the golf. And we are looking for sponsors. We have a whole sponsor at $150, and then we have $250, sorry, and it goes all the way up to the Dignity sponsor at $2,500 and a major sponsor at $5,000. So we're always looking for sponsors. They do get recognized in the paper and at the day of the event, and we do have some totally awesome sponsors, but I just wanted to throw that out there as well. And this is our 11th year. We have been growing every year, and it's just been a great activity.
How many, you said two persons?
Uh-huh.
How many teams you looking for?
We usually have about 100 golfers total.
Wow.
Yeah, but we can go up to 144, so there's always more room.
More room. Gotcha. This is one of the first ones of the year, right? I
It
don't
is.
think I've heard of others starting yet.
Yeah,
with their-
maybe. I know there's some in March or April.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. So get out there and get that winter out at winter. What do we do? We sit around and watch football.
Right.
So it's time to get out and do something. So get out there and swing those clubs and join them on February 25th. You mentioned you do have some sponsors. Anybody who comes in new would be joining the likes of who?
We have
Well, our major sponsor right now is Alexa Higashi, who happens to be our board president, so very supportive. We have, then at the next level, we have Goodfellow Brothers, First Hawaiian Bank, Pukalani Plant, Finishing Touch Roofing, Hawaii Petroleum. I'm going to forget some, and I'm going to get in trouble here.
It's a good cross section though of
Yes.
businesses.
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Kaiser.
Cool, great. So let's get signed up. They need to call again. That number's 244.
5502, or they can sign up on our website. We have a place on our homepage that they can sign up. It's www.kalimaomaui.org.
Totally spelled out.
Yes,
Yep.
Kalimaomaui.org. Which I found out, I think it's pretty cool that Kalima o Maui is cream of Maui, which I like. The cream of Maui.
Really?
In Hawaii.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, it is.
Do you think the founders figured that out?
I wonder. I think it could also be interpreted as the helping hands of Maui. But
Okay.
But I like the creams of Maui.
Yeah, cream of the crop.
Interesting. Yeah. It'd be interesting to, I know there's a couple of agency directors who, as they hit different milestones, go back and try to find in the archives some of the information from startup times. Sometimes that's easy, sometimes it's not, and sometimes it's just not there.
Yeah.
To get an idea what the thought was, and are they still doing, what was originally intended, and just expanding on it year after year, which is great. And
I think our mission hasn't changed too much initially Kalima was created to help TB patients recover and give them work skills to re-enter the workforce. So that's we've just expanded to serve a very broad population, of persons with disabilities, not just TB patients, recovering patients.
And what a wonderful job. Now, I want to go back to your jobs. When you bring people in, you've got training in it to take them out to work for other people.
We do have it's a VWATS program through the Department of Vocational Rehab, and it's vocational work adjustment training services, and we bring anywhere between 4 and 10 students in for a 12-week class, and at the end of that class, what's learning how to get a job, we have a 6-week internship that we pay for, and a lot of times they're offered employment after the completion. And this is generally for people that haven't worked before or have had trouble working in the past, and we do have all ages that have come into the class. And it's a great component of our organization, because that's something a lot of clients or people don't have a chance to do, is go through the training.
And the pride of having a job and doing it well translates for everybody.
It does.
It's a great step. And I noticed on your website you had several people who had gone to TJ Maxx as they opened up, and for various positions. Some of the others, there's some grocery stores. There's some lot of retail, because there's a lot of jobs available in that side.
We do. Have a lot of great community partners that we work with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say enough about TJ Maxx.
No.
I mean, here's a new, big box store that comes into town, and as you know, in the past couple of decades, we've had a few of those come in onto Maui, but nobody has stepped up to the plate like TJ Maxx has, as far as, we'll support you. And I think they're like on their 5th person they've hired from Kalima just since they've gotten on the island. So, great support.
Amazing.
Yep.
That's not even a year yet, is it? That they've been
I think
open?
it's just
Barely.
over a year.
Just hit a year.
Barely.
Oh, for Christmas they were open last year. That's right.
Yep.
The year before.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, so you've got that training where they go out to work, and then you've also got the training to work for you. And you've got how many crews now out, like groundskeeping?
On our grounds crews and janitorial, we have about 11, 12 crews and about 60, I think, clients that work on those crews. And then we have a lot that are working out in the customized employment or out in the community. I wouldn't even know how to count, because we have a lot that have been there years and years and are still there. So I'm guessing hundreds,
Interesting.
probably.
One of the key things you said when we first started talking about that, the training, is that you provide the training, and also you pay for part of their salaries as they go out to work.
We do. We pay our organization. We do pay minimum wage, so they're not getting a substandard wage at all. And we'll pay for up to 19 hours a week for 6 weeks. And it's a great opportunity for them to get out and get their hands wet or in the community and try a job. And then we're
Right.
there to coach them as long as the employer wants us to be there, and as long as the client feels like they need us there. And a lot of times we just fade right out because they're very capable, and sometimes they need a little more help along the way.
Right.
And
So it's truly a win-win for the employer.
it is, because then they have a trained employee free. Basically, we've been there and we're training them, and they're ready to hire them, and they already
Right.
know the tasks that they need to do.
Wow, that's great. So again, the phone number for Kalima is 244-5502. And the website is kalimaomaui.org. Any last comments? We got to call it quits, guys. It went fast. Oh,
I'm selling candy.
she's selling candy. Oh, my goodness. Here comes Faye. Everybody watch out as she leaves the station today. And what are we raising money for?
For our events.
Hui activities.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Activities.
You guys have a hui or a fund that you put together, and then you go on some excursion or out someplace
Yeah.
as a group.
They go out. Actually, they have planned next February. Actually, in a couple weeks, they're going to go out on a whale watch.
Whoa!
So they-
And this is a means of raising the money to do that.
Yeah.
Very good.
$2.50.
$2.50 for a bar of candy. What do we got?
Raisin.
World's finest chocolates.
Whoa!
Raisin and almonds, I think.
Raisin
we're
and
selling.
almonds. Okay, everybody, get your wallets out. Here she comes. Great. Good luck in your sales.
Thank you.
Okay. Pleasure meeting you, Faye.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today, and Debbie and,
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Chantel. Always good to hear what Kalima Maui's up to. Okay, we got to shift gears now and talk the second half of the show. We're going to be talking with the folks from. Come on over here, Mary. Let's get you situated. We got to do an in-house shift here. It's going to take us just a second, folks. As we shift gears and shift chairs, we need a bigger studio, Gary. Yeah, we're growing by leaps and bounds here. We have the Mary. What's Partners in Development Foundation? There we go. Okay. And this is, most people talked about, we still talk about foster care.
Right.
And that's a big part of what you do here on Maui with Partners in Development, right?
We recruit foster parents for Maui County.
Okay. And now, do you also? There was a 22andMe traveling program. Is that still going on in Maui?
Yes.
And what? Can we talk just a minute about that? Do you work on that too?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
Tutu and Me is a different program, and Hui Ho'omalu is a different program.
Oh, okay. So you're just the Hui Ho'omalu, which is the foster parents.
Right.
Okay. So, how are we doing with the ratio of need versus?
We are always looking for more. I actually brought some stats this time,
Okay.
so I can share them with you. So this is about 5 months ago, and at that time we had 173 kids in the system. Out of those 173, 50 were children of, 29% were children of Hawaiian descent, and 143 of those children, this is in the whole, are on Maui alone. So 143 on Maui alone. Out of 143, they're being removed from the different areas. So there was 55 from Wailuku, 1 from Pukalani, 3 from Paia, 13 from Makawao, 18 from Kula, 19 from Kihei, 21 from Kahalui, 3 from Hana, and 7 from Haiku. So that's a lot, right?
That is.
Yeah. And as you can see, like, our most need is in Central, so
Right.
Wailuku and Kahalui area. And as of December, we had 165 homes licensed. So you can clearly see that it doesn't match the ratio of children being removed and the homes being licensed. We're always looking for Hawaiian families of Hawaiian descent. And I think we've had a really struggle trying to reach out to the Hawaiian community. Since '09, we've only licensed 22 families of Hawaiian descent. So it doesn't meet our requirements per the state. We need more Hawaiian descent families to foster children here on the island.
Interesting. And that's one of the things that you try to match up
Yes.
so that there's no outstanding changes in the thinking and the attitudes and so forth when these foster children go into these homes.
Right. So we really try to keep the children in their area of where they are removed first, and then, try to keep them in the same school. We try to have some sort of normalcy. I mean, they were just removed from their homes,
Right.
so that's traumatizing already.
Yes.
And then having to change schools and all of that would just be more.
Right.
So yeah, we really definitely try to keep them in their school district and with families that have similar values and similar cultural backgrounds.
Do most of the families that you have signed up to be foster families have children of their own in the house?
Yes.
They do?
Yes,
Okay.
they do. They usually, from talking to a lot of the resource caregivers, it just works out better when there's already kids in the home, because
Okay.
then they just become part of the group.
Right.
So like a lot of them just say it's just management of the whole amount of kids. So sometimes 5 is better than 3, because
Right.
they can all follow everybody along.
It's not cheaper by the dozen. It's just having that nucleus that you're already working with. Now, I keep talking about fostering. You keep talking about resource caregivers. They're the same.
Yes, they're the same. The state is moving towards changing the word foster care to resource caregiver. So it's exactly the same thing.
Okay. All right. I didn't want the audience out there to get confused thinking I'm talking about something and you're talking about something else. It is all the same.
Yes.
By the way, we never introduced our speaker. We're talking with Mary Leva, who is the coordinator for the Maui office of Partners in Development Foundation. And she's brought with her
Rhonda Felix. She is a previous resource caregiver.
Okay.
She's still licensed, and then she is also our co-trainer for our Hanai classes.
Oh, cool. Okay. So you're taking a break.
Yes. I think it's necessary between children to, catch up on your paperwork.
Gotcha.
That's probably what it is about.
So have you been doing this for quite a while?
Well, no. My circumstances were that my daughter was in a transition and I received her children.
I see.
And the good thing is that I was already in their life. So it wasn't as traumatic as, say, some children that didn't have that connection.
Right.
But it was, there were 3 children, and the ages were young. They were 3, 5, and 7, and I'm a single person, and I don't need to tell you how old I am, but it probably put a few gray hairs. And people say, well, I don't know how you did that. I don't know how you wouldn't do it. And
Right.
I think that's a question only you can answer when the time comes. But when I did my training, the Hanai training, I was so taken with the state's position on children getting physical, mental, and emotional help. Not that I've lived here over 40 years, and I don't think I had ever that much interaction with the state per se, but it gave me a whole new insight into the state of Hawaii and their caring about children. So when you foster children, you will be taking them to dentists, doctors, and therapists. All the things to help a child get the trauma out of their life.
Interesting.
And the more children you have, the more driving you're doing. It's that simple.
Right. And that kind of that 3-pronged service, if you
Yes.
starts with 3 and 5-year-olds.
Yes, it does. And I enjoyed that age. Of course, again, they were my own grandchildren. But children are, we all know children are resilient. But I think there's ages that tend to be a little more resilient than others. Although getting them help, children are always going to have some repercussion from those experiences. It may not show up today, but it will show up in their life at some point. The goal is to get them as much therapeutic help to transition through that.
Right.
I mean, we've all had experiences that have somehow knocked us, it's called life.
Right.
And so when you have people around you that are supporting you and getting the help you need, it makes that child more, I don't think they suffer as deeply as a child who doesn't.
Right.
Let's just say it that way.
It doesn't make a traumatic impression on their lives forever.
Correct. It's a moment in time in the
Right.
big picture.
Right.
And the state's position is on reunification. That is, every child that is taken, the goal is for them to be reunified with the parent. And if the parent can see, which most eventually do, that they have a period of time to get themselves in order,
Right.
and get back on track. And the children, it's hard in the beginning. I think there's 3 parts to it. The beginning.
I'm going to have you hold that
Yes.
thought. We got to take a short break.
Oh,
we'll
breaks
be
are
right
good.
back with those 3 parts.
Yes.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
Welcome back. This is Maui Nonprofit Notes, talking story with Mary Leyva. Well, I don't know. Why do I want to call you Levy? Leyva, Leyva, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Who is the coordinator for Partners in Development here on Maui, talking about resource caregivers. And I'm going to repeat that again because that's the up-and-coming name for foster care. Mm-hmm. And the folks who bring the children who have needs at this point because something has happened in their household where they cannot live with mom and dad or whoever their parents are, one parent, both parents, and need some support from someone else. And right now we're talking with Rhonda Felix, who has been a caregiver for her 3 grandchildren. Mm-hmm. And she was just about to tell us about 3 steps or 3 parts?
There's 3 parts to having a child, and the first part is the beginning, which is the very traumatic part. The children have just been separated, and the truth is children always want to be with their parents, regardless of what transpired. I think that's an innate human nature. Children love their parents. They will always protect their parents. So it takes some patience to get through that part. The middle, in retrospect, is probably the easiest time. The middle of your time together. Everyone's adjusted to the scheduling, and everyone knows what to expect, and that's good for children to know what to expect. And then we have the last part, which is reunification, which once again can be a little bumpy, because all of a sudden what they know is going to change, but what it's going to change to is their heart's desire. So emotions tend to go up and down with everyone. The resource caregiver is not an emotionless person, but it's good to have support when you're in that position. And I found that there's a group that meets is it every 6 weeks, 2 months?
Yeah, every other month.
Yeah, it was key for me to be with like-minded people that were in it with kids, and the children were. Never remember when the girl said, "Those children are foster children too." It was like they're just like us because they go. There's a transition for them in all of it. Kids at school. Who's that lady picking you up? That's my gram, or that's Auntie. And Mary talks about this in class. Hawaii is such a Hanai place that it's not as harsh. Auntie's getting me, as say on the mainland. So we have that feeling here of caring for each other's children and family. So it was a wonderful experience. Like I said, I'm in recuperation, mostly for paperwork, and I am going to do it again.
Yeah.
Because there is such a need in our state for children to have a space and to know that they're okay. If children learn that it's not their fault and they're okay and they're good, that their lives will be much better in the future than if they take on that guilt.
Yeah, is that one of the things that the kids usually feel or one of the first things they feel is that it's their fault that it's not working at home?
I think so. I mean, they are through the whole process in a way stuck in the middle. They might really like their resource caregiver family, but then they feel guilty because they shouldn't like them as much as they should like their parents. So it's different for every child, I think. But at the end of the day, what we emphasize in our trainings and we talk about is the resource caregiver building a relationship with the birth parent so that they can kind of guide the child together, and it just works better for the child if both the resource caregiver and the birth parent knows what's going on with the child.
Right. Now, can the birth parent be a part of this whole thing as far as seeing the kids during this time and all this?
Yeah, so we do, the state does support visitations with the birth parent. And it's about an hour. And I think it's about once a week or sometimes twice a week. It just depends on the visitation that the parent gets with the foster child. And the resource caregiver can choose to be the one that takes them to the visitations, or they can choose not to. The social worker and the resource caregiver and the birth parent will work that out.
I see.
I think that from my experience, what in the beginning, you're not in that triangle as much. The social worker can pick up the children. Everyone's raw in the beginning.
Right.
These people have lost their children. It doesn't matter if it's your mother has your children or a stranger, someone has your children. So there's a lot of feelings, a lot of guilt, remorse, what we would feel. So it's best if that relationship really doesn't bond, and I think the state sees this until at least midway, because they tend to pick up the children, or you can just drop them off, but you leave. It's the children and parent time. It's not, I was the grandmother. At one point I was hanging out and I finally got, you need to leave. This isn't about you. It's like, really? So it is about the children and the parents, right. And the time as they get stronger in their program and recovery, they get the children longer. And there is a system for it. At the beginning it's very light, and then the more receptive the parent is, then they get more time, and eventually they get the child by themselves, and the child can spend the night. So I think the state has a pretty good handle on forming that.
I see.
It's not just we take them and then we give them all back in one time. There's a formula.
Yeah.
Because it's an adjustment for everyone.
It's a progression going in and coming out.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, what can I ask? How long a period you had the children?
I had the children for just a year.
Okay.
And generally, and you can help me with this, Mary, it's anywhere from, it could be a couple weeks, but generally it's 6 months to 18 months to 2 years. It just really depends on the parents and their process and what they're dealing with.
Right. I got you. So some are really quick.
Yeah, I mean, every situation and every case is different. So it could go from 6 months to 24 months. And if the parents are not able to take care of them at that 24-month period, they sometimes are granted an extension to still continue to get themselves better so that they can be reunified with their children.
So sometimes there's just a not a minor bump in the road, but a bump in the road versus a real serious issue
Right.
that has to be resolved. So that's why the difference in timing. Now, when there in this process, obviously there's a cost to being a resource caregiver. How is that handled?
A cost emotionally or a cost financially?
Well, yeah, it cost emotionally for sure, but financially, yeah. Is there a benefit from somewhere? Or?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We do, the state does pay board and boarding and room. So there's like payments for that, and we go over that. It's based on age group, and we go over that with the resource caregiver at the time of their interest. They also have a lot of support from like the support group, the warm line, while they're being resource caregivers. And also they work with the team. So the child usually comes with a team of people that are involved in his or her life. So the guardian ad litem, they have the therapist, they have their teachers, they have their social worker, they have their doctors, everybody. It's a whole team, and the whole team has to kind of work together for the benefit of the child. And even the parents going through their rehabilitation or whatever it is that they're doing, they're also involved as part of the team, because that's so important for the child to be able to be unified with the parents eventually.
Interesting. So it's I mean, it's not like the kids are handed to you and say, here you are.
No, not at all.
You're not out there by yourself at all.
Sometimes you wonder, is it going fast enough? Is it going too slow? What is it? But there are classes. So I forget what that's called. A parent has not a report.
ISP.
But they have a program that they need to follow. It's all laid out. And so there's certain classes, and getting into some of those can be the hold up.
Oh, I see.
So there's things that they need to, they need to go to alternatives to violence. They need to go to parenting classes. There's all kinds of things that are required. And again, it's tailor-made for each situation. And so what's my point there? My point is that it's being observed, and it moves together. And, the part of the problem is the state is overwhelmed. There are a lot of children that need help. And so oftentimes the caseworkers are overwhelmed. So it's important to know who you can get support from, because it's not always going to be the case manager. There is a lot of agencies to support the child. And I did my best to figure out what they all were, and that's what you have to do. You have to figure it out. And I was able to get a lot of help from a lot of different places. It's there. You just have to know what it is. You have to do your research. You get a pamphlet that tells you what's available, so you have to go out and knock on the door.
Right.
It's, as with anything, it's a lot of paperwork. Getting the child is not an easy thing necessarily. They want to make sure you're a competent person that doesn't have some, flaw in your own character that's not going to handle it very well.
Right. Yeah. And it can't be taken lightly.
It's not taken lightly. They don't turn them over lightly.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just a whim.
Right.
That I'm going to give this a try. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to be dedicated to it right from day one.
Right. Well, you can get in and also find out it's not for you.
That's probably true.
And it's true that not every child fits with every family either. So if you should take a child and some reason just doesn't work, you want to let that child move forward as opposed to keeping them.
Right.
Not all personalities equate, right?
Right.
So
right.
That is a shift sometimes.
Gotcha.
So.
And you all work with that situation, I'm sure.
Yeah, we definitely do. And like Rhonda was saying, we really try to get to know our resource caregivers before we recommend for license. So it's not like you fill out an application and you're done, you know. It's not that simple. They do have to do the application. They do have to get fingerprinted. We also ask for medical backgrounds to make sure that they're medically able to take care of a child. We do their training, 15 hours of Hanai training, which stands for Hawaii Assures Nurturing and Involvement. I remember the last time I didn't.
There you go.
Yay. And so we after the Hanai, we also do like a assessment of their home and of who they are. We spend like 6 to 8 hours with them, and we try to really get to know them in person as to who they are.
I got you. Okay, and that's I mean that's required. That's basic.
Yes.
If you're going to be bringing in children. Now, some people are there some people who will do this but only do it for like one child because that's really all they can handle in their home or in their situation.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of our homes can only take in 1 or 2 children. We're always looking for families that can take in large sibling groups, and that's 4 and plus.
Wow.
Because we definitely don't want to separate the siblings. But yeah, as we are looking for anybody that can take 1, but if you can take 4 or more, please give us a call.
That's taking on quite a bit.
It's a school. But you know, you get a regiment going and it's okay.
Right. Okay, so I can't believe that half hour is gone already.
Me either.
But I think we've all learned a lot. And Rhonda, I want to thank you for being here and sharing
Thank you
your
for
thoughts.
the opportunity.
And thank you so much for doing this. As Mary has said, it's such an important thing, and we need more resource caregivers. There we go. I've got it now. It's written here. Mary, any last thoughts before we have to call it quits today?
Yeah, just, we are always not only looking for resource caregivers, this is about information, about awareness to let everyone know that we do have foster children here on Maui. So if it's not for you, that's fine. But if you know auntie or uncle or cousin that might be interested, you can pass on the information.
Very good. And one more time, I don't think we've given the phone number.
808-268-5122. And my name is Mary.
Great. There you go. And don't try to go to the Partners in Development website because it's not going to tell you a whole lot about what's happening on Maui.
It will if you go to the programs a little bit. Like each program has its own link. But yeah, so we do have some informational sessions that are online, and sometimes it's there. And our Facebook page too. That's probably more updated.
Oh, okay. Everybody's shifting gears here to the faster information providers. Yes. Thank you so much, Mary and Rhonda, for being with us today. Oh my goodness, there's the music. Yay. Oh, Maui Nonprofit Notes is sponsored as a community service by Pacific Source, the builder's choice. Please give Paul and his staff a call at 986-0380 or stop by their showroom in the Waikapu Base Yard on East Oahe Way to see how they can help you with your building project. Today we visited with the folks from Kalima o Maui and the folks from Partners in Development, the Hui Ho'omalu program here on Maui, and found out what they're doing to help folks in our community. Please give them a call. That Partners in Development was 268-5122, and the folks at Kalima o Maui, that number, I don't have that number. Here we go again. I've got to quit shuffling papers while I'm talking. Anyway, Kalima o Maui, they're in the book. Take a look.
Google it.
Okay. Thanks for tuning in, joining us this week. We'll be back here same time, same place next week. My name's Susie Tiemann. I'm the Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific and your host. Thanks for joining us. Have a great week, everyone. Aloha.